right? You know what's really amazing? I went to college for baseball, first and foremost. That's number one. So it took me 5.5 years to finish a 4-year degree. I just used the first thing in my entire life that I learned in college just now. So you don't have to be smart to do this, but it's called customer acquisition cost. When I was going to school, Vonage was trying to get me. They were spending $1,500 for every one new acquired customer. When we can come to them with a customer base of over 3 million people and say, we can get you in 3 million households overnight, and they look back to things like that, 3 million times 1,500 is hundreds of millions. Actually, over billions. $3 billion. That's what it would cost them without the use of us to get in those households. If it was that expensive of a customer acquisition cost. How many people get that? We can do it for nothing. All they have to do is give us a what? Nice little piece of the pie when we prove our marketing works by giving us what? The margin, which is converted to cash back and IBV and BV for you. It's a genius model. So that's number 2, digital aggregation. We can bring products and have them at the best price in the world because they don't have to pay marketing dollars, they just pay us a percentage. Number 3 is the tracking system. We already talked about it. We can track it all. We can track what consumer leaves. One consumer can go across countries and pay you for business in your own home country currency, even though you could have led the business. I have business in 7 countries now. I've only been to 3 of them in person. But I'm getting paid in what? Because I live in America, I'm getting paid in US American dollars for all the business that happens in all those 7 countries, and I don't have to deal with the other governments. How many people love that idea, by the way? Isn't that really, really good? And then number 4, that brings us all together. And why we're again, I'll just repeat them. Collective buying power is number 1. Number 2 is digital aggregation. We can find what people want and bring it to them. Huge cost breaks for them and giant profits for us. Number 3 is the tracking system. But then number 4 is what brings it all together. On a global scale, listen, I've been traveling a lot. And everywhere I go, and it's even showing through the political reins to some extent. It's called the entrepreneurial movement. There is an entrepreneurial movement on a global scale happening everywhere. Too many people are not only sick and tired of being ripped off when it comes down to spending too much money for the things they need to buy, but they're also sick and tired of being put in a position where corporations that really don't give a crap about them are controlling whether they're going to have a paycheck next week or next month. How many people agree with that? Right? And now, because of the digital and social media, we can compete with them all. In fact, we're more effective as real human beings. Why? Because technology has made it so we're not only as effective at companies that tell people about, we're more effective because we have one thing that they'll never get, and that's personal relationships with people. How many people follow that? You're a giant piece for these companies. But most importantly, you're a huge piece for you. So on a global scale, and I showed it yesterday on stage, more and more and more people, in fact, the last 2 years, there were more 1099s filed, self-employment compensation, like subcontractor, than in the history of our country. That means more people are what? Going into business for themselves. But here's the problem, they don't know what to do. How many people agree we have the best solution in the world that can show them exactly what to do if they want to be an entrepreneur and not have to worry about the failing part? So when you take those 4 things and you combine them together, you are positioned to change the world, and it's a movement. It's crazy. Now, last couple points I want to make. Last couple major points. I hear all the time that people are looking, they're like, oh, well, that's only, I would have bought the whatever product from wherever. But it was I only would have got 2% cash back and 3% IBV. It was only a $5 item. So what would that have been? 2 cents. And they make a joke about it. Or 2 cents and 0.4 IBV. And I say, you know what? You just don't get it. Because let me tell you what your purchase really does. It's not about the cash back and the IBV right now. Every single time you spend your money, if you don't spend it through yourself, you're voting against everything we breathe every single day. Does this make sense? You're voting for the companies that keep ripping you off. You got this? You're giving them permission to take the margins that you're responsible for and stuff their pockets with it instead of giving it back to you because you're the one that's doing it for them. Right? Feel me? Thanks, Trina. You get me going. Come on. Let's go, Trina. We're going to Canada next, aren't we? Come on. So, get that. Vote with your spending. Don't watch the BV and IBV. That's going to happen for you if you just change the habit. Vote with your spending. I want you to vote 3, 4, 5 times a day from this point on. If you're here tonight, how many people in here will make a commitment to me that every day you're going to vote for the shopping annuity 3, 4, 5 times a day, every single day for the next 12 months? How many people commit? Come on. Listen, if you're not raising your hand, just go somewhere else. Seriously. Because listen, you're going to spend the money anyway. So vote for it. Last 2 points. You got 11 seconds.
You're good. No,
Thank you.
Good. Solid.
Now, we already talked about this, but let me just talk. Now, I want to tell you, we are not a multi-level marketing company, and there's way differences from us, but I got to say something. Multi-level marketing, the industry has trained some incredibly gifted people when it comes down to marketing out there. How many people understand this? But what I gotta tell you is we have a model that's 6 to 10 times as profitable for the equal amount of work for those people. And most of them are looking for something that'll actually pay them what they're worth. And I haven't found a company in that industry that pays them near what they're worth. They have to do 10 times the amount of work to make 2 to 3 times less money that we do in our model because of our positioning. So what I want you to realize, and a couple of reasons, but the one reason that we talked about earlier, first of all, our compensation plan's second to none, and nothing comes close to it. But one of the main reasons is because instead of only getting paid once a month off one of your partner's purchases, because that's all they spend money on once a month, or once a week because they have some customers, in our business, you can get paid off every partner that you bring into the business. So this is how you can position it with these people. And every single customer those partners bring in, not only once or twice a month, but 3, 4, 5 times a day, every day, for 365 days a year. How many people think you can make more money that way? There's a reason why you need a fraction of the people. So make sure that goes out. And then the last thing to bring it all together, and like I said, I can, as you can tell, I can rant about this, and Carl's going to come up here and yell at you too, by the way, so just forewarning you. But the reality is, because we're getting frustrated, right? Because like, how are people not getting this? But anyway, here we go. Last thing. We talked about the system, and it's designed to take the money from you and fill the pockets of other entities and take it away from you, giving you the worst price in the whole chain of distribution, right? You know why it's a perfect storm now. I mean, it really is. And it's going to be there for a few years, but this is the biggest time in history. And the people that get it, they're going to make break and pen levels look like a monthly or bi-monthly occurrence soon. You guys getting that? I mean, listen, you don't have to believe me, it's going to happen. So you can either be one of them or you can watch it happen. But it's going to happen regardless, okay? And the people who vote every day are what's going to make the IBV and BV go up. This is a reason. It's going to exponentially create these volume points that's going to go into commissions without any more sales. It's just going to be bigger margins that are going to make people hit pin levels without any new customers and new reps. Just when a company says, wow, we just negotiated with 20 companies and they just tripled our commission, which means your BV and IBV just tripled. Now you just what? Doubled your income overnight because you all voted with your dollars. You guys getting this? So here's my close. This truly is going to become a global crusade. You're going to run into some tests. You're going to run into some challenges. You're going to have people think you're a little bit nuts. Own that. Own it, because how many people agree we are a little bit nuts? How many people agree that? You know what I mean? We are. So I want you just to own it, right? And I want you to realize this is going to happen with you or without you. But either way, you're going to end up being one of two things. And this is what I'm going to finish with. You're either going to lead the way with the shopping annuity and make your votes count every single day, right? You'll be a leader in it. Or after everybody's making it and you realize you missed it, you're just going to be following them along. You're going to be part of it one way or the other. How many people want to be a part of it as a leader? How many people want to come after it's already working for the top earners? Anybody? I guess we're in the right room. Have a great night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Don.